Welcome back to another episode on A Dose of Nikki. As always, I want to give thanks to my listeners for joining me every week to hear another topic or phrase. As I have said many times before, it really means a lot to me that this podcast is supported by you. So I thank you, and thank you. Before we get started, just want to mention that I have a little bit of a congestion going on. So if I sound a little distorted, please bear with me. Okay? So the topic of the day is busted. I have to laugh on this one because, oh my goodness, I think we all have had that experience of being busted, right? Okay, so when we are busted doing something, that means number one, we should not be doing it, right? And number two, it's being deceitful. Oh, I know that's a deep word, deceitful. Why'd I have to go there, right? Come on. It's, you're guilty. Yeah. Busted is you straight guilty. And misleading. You misled someone. That's what happened. Misled. We are now exposed when we are busted. Dang it. Why did I have to get busted? That's like the thought in your head when you get busted. And you know what you want? You want a do-over. Sorry, can't do it. No can do. No can do for you. Straight up busted. There's nothing you could do. And this act of being busted falls in line with that saying, what you do in the dark comes to light. That is straight from a book many of you know. I won't get into it, but you know it. What you do in the dark will always come to light. Anyway, let's dissect this, okay? You were doing things behind closed doors no one knew. It was a secret that you did not want to share with others. It was your secret. And this secret has been in place for a certain period of time. Then one day, voila, just like that, the covers were pulled back and you were exposed. Oh my gosh. So, what you did in the dark is now in the light. The light feels like it's shining really bright on you, like you're on stage performing. Imagine that. Like you are on stage performing. That is how bright the light is on you when you've been busted, right? So let's think about this. It's like being caught with your pants down, right? Visualize this. You're in the bathroom with your pants down, taking care of business on the toilet, and you stand up and boom, lights start to shine on you. How embarrassed would you feel? How embarrassed would you feel? Like, oh my goodness. Privacy is gone, out the window. Not cool. Busted. Oh my. You are straight busted. So, let me give you some stories so you can think and determine if being busted is worth the deceit. Is it worth misleading people? Okay? All right. So, the first one is I have a cousin, my cousin. When he was a little boy, he would do things that, little boys do, being mischievous and rambunctious. He had a secret. He had found these donuts that more than likely his mom did not want him to have. He might have already had some and wanted more, and of course, his mom was going to tell him no. So, well, he thought if I sneak to eat the donuts, no one would know. No one. Guess what? We, that would be his mother, his sister, my mom, which is his aunt, and me. We walk dead into the house, and we look at him like, what the? My man had guilt written all over his face, literally. Evidence in his expression, his eyes, last but not least, his mouth, okay? The white powder from the donut was all over his mouth. We were like, what? I can't remember who asked, but someone asked, who ate the donuts? And he blurted out, not me. His sister, Miss Classic, goes, oh, yeah? Then why do you have powder all over your mouth? He looked so shocked. Evidence. That's what he had. Proof that he had eaten the donuts and then tried to deny it on top of it. We laughed so hard about that. Now, what can you do with that? Straight what? Busted. My man was busted. So that's one thought. Now, of course, that's a kid. So, but he was being deceitful. Talking about not me, not me. Right. Mm-hmm. So one day I decided to skip school with my girls. Right. My mom left work like clockwork, no later than 8 o'clock. I usually left before her, so I go to school, but don't go inside, right? I connect with my girls and we decide we're not going to school today. We gonna play. Let's play hooky. That's what we said. We gonna play hooky. So here I go, being cool. Let's go back to my house. My mom left for work already, so ain't nobody home. That's how I was acting. Nobody home. We cool, right? Now back then there was no cell phone, so I couldn't really like test out whether or not she truly was gone or not. You know, you could call and see, hey, mom, where you at? What you been doing? You know, get some information from her. You know, you'd have to go straight to the to the payphone to get that information. And of course, I'm not going to the payphone because that's obvious, right? So you had to kind of just wing it. But I didn't have any fear because she is gone to work by this time. It's like about 9 o'clock now, right? So now I'm moseying along about a block away from, you know, in my about a block away from the house, and I don't really know why I was behind a few of the girls. I think it was like four of us. So two of them was ahead of me, and I was just walking with the other one, and I could see one of them like waving like profusely, like go jumping up and down, pointing and stuff. But I didn't. I'm looking at her like, what are you doing? Not realizing she's trying to get my attention because my mom is walking directly towards me. Eyes locked on me the whole time, and I did not see her. I'm too busy focused on the girl behind my mother trying to get my attention. But guess what? OMG. When I saw my mother, my entire insides dropped. I said, oh my God. What is going on here? What is this, like a Twilight Zone or something? My mouth went wide open from shock. I was frozen. Frozen. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna get embarrassed in front of all my friends, okay? Because I was just Miss Cool Girl, right? Oh, nobody in my house, come on over. My mom was so smooth. She was smooth. If we could give an award for smooth, that was her. Let me tell you what your girl did. She walked right up to me and was like, "I just saw your friend." Just as polite. I never asked, and she never asked me why I was in the neighborhood when I was supposed to be in school. She said, I'll see you later, and went to work. At that moment, I had a decision to make: go to school or go to the house. Either way, I was left to think about that because I knew I was in deep trouble no matter what. Being deceitful, guilty, doing things in the dark that eventually came to light. Yep. So, last one. One day I had my cousin's children with me, right? And my girlfriend asked me to go with her to this pharmacy store in the morning. So we take the walk with her. The kids are being kids, you know, going from aisle to aisle, and they playing and stuff. And I follow one of them who is standing in front of this man, right? And when I look at the man, he has his finger over his lips. Without saying it, he's telling my little cousin to keep quiet. when I took a closer look, I realized it was my cousin's boyfriend. What the little boy's mother, right? So I'm like, what the what? Oh, Nelly, what? So I scanned the store and I read the room. Who's at the counter? Two women who he is with. Got it? I realized he was with another woman who was shopping for her toiletries and he did not want the boy to call him out. It would be suspicious. Him knowing the kid in this area, he was from Brooklyn, and we are in a different borough in New York City, the neighborhood of Harlem, right? That's where we are. And I told him, don't tell him to be quiet, and moved my cousin away from him. And we stood to the side, waiting for my girlfriend to purchase her things, right? Here comes Mr. Busted. His guilt is eating at him. He's asking me like, what are you waiting on? Like, I'm sorry, I don't answer to you. What? Who? I looked just from side to side. I'm looking around like, who you talking to? I'm sorry, I don't owe you nothing, not a thing. Keep it moving, my brother, with your other woman, right? Act like I'm not here, Mister Deceitful. Yeah, keep it moving. Another act of doing something in the dark, and it came to light. So, is it all worth it in the end? Is it worth the energy, the loss, the avoidable repercussions? I doubt it. Most likely, when we are busted, we want a do over, right? We want a do over. And in these circumstances, there's rarely an opportunity to erase and rewind. But you can learn from it. You can. Remember what we discussed. Remember, we discussed this. Your word should be your bond. Your character is everything and should not be impacted by the act of deceit that leads to hurt, pain, and shame. So be genuine and true to yourself. There is no need to mislead people. Life is short. Own your truth. It can be difficult, but it's better to own it than to deny it. Until next time, on A Dose of Nikki, be well, my people. Be